Hello, campers! This is the Suburban Camper. Do you want to go anywhere? Camp for free? Be comfortable, safe, and secure? Prepared for anything? And save money? If you answered yes to all those questions, then stay tuned as I explore and assess affordable camper options that meet all these criteria. Before we dive in, I had some viewers comment on the fact they liked the campsite locations I was sharing in my videos, but I've been forgetting to put that information in my videos. So I'm bringing them back. Just be on the lookout for a quick slide featuring a photograph, 3-word description, and the coordinates. Now, I am certainly not opposed to spending money. I have spent plenty in my lifetime, including $60,000 for an RV. That's right, that's me, the suburban camper camping in a monster RV. It was a phase, and in that phase I spent a lot of money to buy, maintain, and run that RV. But it got my entire family out camping, and we have many fond memories, and plenty of challenges too. I am now at the point in my life where I am focused on retiring sooner than later, which means I want my money to be making more money, so I don't own the big RV and instead keep that money invested. Of course, I still want to camp, but I don't want to spend a lot of money, so which camper option should I choose? RV? Truck bed camper? Trailer? 4-wheel drive vehicle with a rooftop tent? Camper van? A built-out 4-wheel drive SUV camper? Or a no-build 4-wheel drive SUV camper? To answer this question, I will start by assessing how well each option meets the 5 criteria, and I will attempt to apply some metrics to that process with the following rating and point system. 3 points for excellent, 2 points for good, 1 point for poor. Let's dive in and start with the toughest criterion, go anywhere. When you say go anywhere, the topic of overlanding comes to mind, and based on my YouTube homepage, it is a very popular thing to do these days. What is overlanding? Well, it depends on who you ask, but I think everyone agrees it is about the journey, not the destination. In looking at these rigs, I think it is mostly about the cool gear. Clearly, they are equipped to go anywhere. But all that customization and gear is expensive, so are there more affordable options to take you anywhere? Well, before I answer that question, let me clarify anywhere. I am not talking about river crossings and extreme off-road conditions, but rather just about anywhere, which will get you to plenty of remote and free campsites. So, the answer as to whether there are more affordable options is yes, as I believe most stock SUVs with good off-road tires can take you just about anywhere. I have yet to encounter a destination I was unable to reach in my 20-plus-year-old no-build 4-wheel drive SUV camper. Did I have to remove my hitch cargo carrier to cross a stream to get to this campsite? Yes, but I made it there, and out of there by way of a wet, slick, and steep road. Did it take me an hour to travel 6 miles on this rough road through a canyon? Yes, but I made it. Does that make me an overlander? Not sure. I'm just out there exploring, camping, and learning as I go. Anyway, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend your hard-earned money on a rig like this, and in fact, I plan on building something like this out of an 8th-generation Suburban at some point. All I'm saying is there are more affordable options to get you just about anywhere. I believe any of the camper options equipped with 4-wheel drive will be capable of taking you just about anywhere. Just know that 4-wheel drive increases the cost. There are some, but not a lot of trailers designed for off-road travel. Keep in mind, you should include the cost of the vehicle pulling the trailer, as it's not going anywhere without it. Also, width, height, and weight are factors when going anywhere, and with that in mind, I believe there will be places a 4-wheel drive vehicle or camper van can go, but a 4-wheel drive RV or truck with a bed camper cannot. For example, here's a campsite I featured in the Where to Camp for Free video, and the road is overgrown and narrow, so I don't think you'd want to take anything much bigger than a Suburban to this campsite. And here's the location of that campsite. Now, Go anywhere also means running errands and hauling people places, so if your camper can do that, then you may not need another vehicle, which reduces maintenance and insurance costs and makes it an even more affordable option. With that in mind, which one of these are you going to run errands in? All that said, here are the scores I assigned for Go Anywhere. Moving on to the next criterion, camp for free. The fact is, you can find free campsites to accommodate any type of camper, but if your camper can go anywhere, then it opens up the entire world of free camping and unlimited campsites. In other words, it makes it easier to camp for free, and free is very affordable. So, any camper that scores high for Go Anywhere scores high in the free camping criterion. Next up is comfortable, safe, and secure, and let's start with comfort and the most important factor, which is sleep. I slept like a baby in my big RV, so RVs score high. I would also give a high score to any of the options featuring a permanent bed, which most truck bed campers, camper vans, and trailers will offer. My Suburban features a completely flat cargo area. It is very easy to level up with blocks, and my 4-inch memory foam mattress is very comfortable. Enough said. What about a vehicle with a rooftop tent? Well, admittedly, I've never slept in one, but I never found tent camping to be comfortable, and I decided long ago, other than the occasional backpacking trip, my tent camping days are behind me. Staying dry, cool, and warm are also big factors for comfort, but no matter what camper you utilize, unless you have air conditioning, the temperature inside will be the same, or in some cases hotter, as it is outside, and all the camper options can facilitate comfort with affordable gear such as fans, heaters, or electric blankets. Regarding dry, I think a solid roof over your head should score higher, and here are the scores for comfort. Next up, safe and secure. All the options except a rooftop tent enable you to be safe and secure locked inside of a shelter, so they all score high. Now, I did not give the rooftop tent the lowest score, since you're at least up off the ground. Keep in mind, sleeping inside a shelter not specifically designed for sleeping, such as a vehicle, introduces additional risk and is therefore not as safe as a fully outfitted camper equipped with safety features such as smoke and CO2 detectors, fire extinguisher, and emergency exits. So, unless you implement these safety features in your vehicle camper, it is not as safe and deserves a low score, but these measures are easy to implement, so I scored the SUV options the same as the outfitted campers. Regarding security, the best way to prevent theft is keeping your gear out of sight, so any of the options will enable you to store your gear inside. You can certainly make the case some of the options such as RV, truck bed camper, or some camper vans will keep things more out of sight, but the reality is every camper is a target for thieves, so with every option, the only factor to consider is the ability of your security to stop the thieves. Here are the scores for safe and secure. The final criterion is prepared for anything. What is anything? Well, it is mostly about your camper's ability to provide a shelter for all weather conditions, and all the options can do this, but I believe the rooftop tent will not perform as well and therefore scores lower. Prepared for anything also means being prepared for things like a flat tire, dead battery, mechanical breakdown, and getting stuck. While it is not possible to be prepared for everything, such as all mechanical breakdowns, all the camper options will enable you to carry the supplies and gear you need to be prepared for all the things I listed. Okay, here are the scores for prepared for anything. And here are the total scores so far. There are 4 options tied for the high score. Now we need to assess affordability, so let's go shopping. Since I already own and utilize a no-build 4-wheel drive SUV camper, we can use real numbers and skip shopping for a SUV. I paid $3,800 for my 2000 Chevrolet Suburban LT. Over the past 3 years, I have invested about $5,000 on repairs, many of which I have done myself, to enable it to be a reliable vehicle. This does not include maintenance such as oil changes and consumables such as brakes and tires, which all vehicle-based options will require over time. And I spent about $1,500 outfitting my Suburban with gear and supplies to turn it quickly and easily into a camper, and then back to a SUV. So, the total cost of my no-build four-wheel drive SUV camper is $10,300. Since we have a cost established for a no-build four-wheel drive SUV camper, and it is tied for top score, I will use a budget of $11,000 to see how the other options compare. Let's start with RVs. This RV is not going anywhere. It may not even run. Anyway, while there are many RVs in this price range, there are not any with the ability to take me anywhere, so I am moving on. Let's check out four-wheel drive truck bed campers. Keep in mind, this option also requires us to factor in the cost of a reliable four-wheel drive truck, and I believe that would set you back at least $5,000. Once you factor that in, I'm seeing options that would keep the total cost below $11,000. This one is only $2,750, and it's made for a quarter-ton truck. It even has a wood stove. Here is one for $5,000, probably something I could work with. This one for $2,900 looks like it is in good shape. This one has electric jacks and looks like it's ready to go. Here's another one that looks good. This one is only $1,200. At least they are honest and say it's in fair condition. And here is one more. I think it is safe to say a truck bed camper is a viable option. Moving on to trailers. And again, we need to factor in the cost of a four-wheel drive vehicle to pull the trailer. Well, this trailer is interesting, and it is within our budget, but you can't take a cargo trailer with a standard suspension anywhere. Here is one that looks off-road capable, but it is a tent with a very cozy space, so not very safe and secure or comfortable. Here is one they say is off-road ready for $6,450. Looks pretty good, but it will only leave us with $4,550 to spend on camping gear and a reliable four-wheel drive vehicle to pull it. There are plenty of affordable pop-up tent trailers, but they are not off-road ready. Here's an interesting one, and it's only $1,500. Again, quite cozy, but scores low on safe and secure. Here is one that looks like it may go off-road, but it is way out of our budget. I am just not seeing any other options, as this site is searching the entire US. I did come across this solution, but it is $11,000, so we have no money left for a vehicle to pull it. Now, let's shop for a rooftop tent. Yikes! You want how much for this? $3,695? Okay, I see there are more affordable options for just over $1,000. Anyway, if we go the low-cost route on the tent, then we can come in under the $11,000 budget by spending $1,000 on camping gear and supplies, which would leave us with $9,000 to spend on a four-wheel drive SUV. But I'm afraid the low-cost tent may take the comfort score down to 0. Moving on to camper vans. Here is one for only $5,500. Looks like it is ready to go, but just not anywhere. Let's go back to 1971 in this affordable option. No thanks. Here is a classic conversion van. Check out that suede. But it is not four-wheel drive, and those running boards do not offer much clearance. I am just not seeing any four-wheel drive camper vans, so let's look for Vanagons and Eurovans. Here's a Vanagon coming in under budget. It's an antique, so not sure about the reliability, and it is rear-wheel drive. Here's a classic one, also rear-wheel drive, but you could probably take it lots of places.
Slowly.
Moving on to Eurovans. This one's in pretty good shape, and this one is nice, but it maxes out our budget. In this price range, these are the weekender models, so not a fully outfitted camper van, and not four-wheel drive. This one is a bargain. Oh, I see why. It only goes in reverse. Let's try and search for any van with four-wheel drive. Here's an Astro van for $5,200. It is all-wheel drive, but that could work. Just pull out the seats and maybe fix this dent, and you are good to go. And here is the Astro van's counterpart on the GM side. The pictures, what? Anyway, it may be an option. Here's an affordable 4x4 Mitsubishi Delica, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm seeing more and more of these around. They will go anywhere, but not sure about parts availability, and based on that, how well it would score with prepared for anything. Let's try and find a built-out four-wheel drive SUV camper. They are hard to find. Here is one that may not be for sale, but it says the cost is $12,900. Here is one that is for sale, and it's listed for $11,500. The last one I saw on the market in my area was around $11,000, so it is possible to find them within our budget. Alright, so as far as the scores for affordability, there were not any RVs in our budget capable of taking me anywhere, so they should probably get a 0, but if you search long and hard enough, you may find one, so I would give them a 1. When you look across the entire camper van category, the options are limited, and as far as ones already outfitted for camping, none of them had four-wheel drive. The Astro van and the Mitsubishi Delica are viable options, but you need to allow enough money to get them outfitted for camping, so I will give the camper van option a 2. I believe it will be a challenge to find the combination of an off-road trailer and a reliable four-wheel drive vehicle capable of towing it for under $11,000, so I would give it a 2. I think the built-out SUV camper is going to be pushing the budget, especially when you factor in the camping gear and supplies you will still need to acquire, so it is also a 2. And I would give the four-wheel drive vehicle with rooftop tent, the four-wheel drive truck with bed camper, and the no-build four-wheel drive SUV camper a 3. And now it is time to declare the winner. Drum roll, please. Oh heck, you know what? I'm not going to pick a winner. Clearly I am biased, so it is up to you to decide. I just want to provide you with information to help you pick the option to best meet your needs. The fact is, the best option is the one that enables you to maximize your outdoor adventures and, hopefully, not break the bank in the process. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe. Thank you very much.